the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's Champagne Papi, which is Drake's Instagram name. I laid out in extreme detail all of my defense witnesses list, which included many rappers, because at the end of the day, the victim in this case was a rapper. He had feuds, ongoing public feuds with not only Drake, but a lot of rappers that are either signed to OVO or related to Drake in some way, including 600 Breezy, which is a Chicago-based rapper, and a rapper that's from Toronto by the name of, he goes by Top 5, which is Hassan Ali. And I had to lay that all out in detail. The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Academics, because DJ Academics was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically, X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face, and he wanted DJ Academics to post it on his own site, and he said, "I'm not going to do that." And in that conversation, DJ Academics says that you better be careful because even though, and I'm paraphrasing again, even though he's not a gangster, you may be pushing him. As a reaction to that conversation, X goes and says that he takes it out off the post off of his website or off of IG, and he says that his Instagram was hacked.
Drake really thought that he could sue Universal Music Group and there would be no repercussions. But now it's looking like Universal Music Group has put the green light on Drake. Drake is now being brought up as a person of reference that might have had a hand in the 2018 killing of Florida rapper XXXTentacion. And now with this being said, there's a cooperator, they call a snitch nowadays in the court system, a cooperator. They've had a cooperator throughout the whole case, and the judge didn't believe his story at the time because, Drake, big celebrity, superstar, they named the Migos, they named 600 Breezy.
X's own mother testified that she knew about this, that she knew about when 600 Breezy traveled from wherever he was, whether it's Chicago to South Florida. She knew about it. She talked to him about it. So this case had more than ample evidence and ample reason to involve a gang expert.
To be clear, though, you were allowed to argue that someone else could have been responsible for this killing because you cross-examined Allen on cross-examination, suggesting that he had this link to Drake. But my understanding is you're arguing now that the trial court had put limits on your cross-examination of Allen, that violated your client's rights. Am I misunderstanding that?
No, you're 100% correct. And they did it not only with Allen, but they did it all throughout the trial.
Okay.
With Allen, known firearms dealer, as the brief states, produced at least one of the guns that was used in this. When I asked him about his father and ties to Toronto and drug dealing, the state objected, and the judge didn't allow that question. So it was a constant battle for me to try and basically do my job and show where reasonable doubt existed.
The appeal of the cooperator, yes, the snitch, he's going back on an appeal. He's naming Drake, and they're trying to get Drake in again, and now they're using Drake's lyrics from some of his songs, because we all know Drake be popping his shit in them songs. Like he talk about he got mob ties. He tied in with Jay Prince in Houston. We know how Drake be moving.
And I believe the brief states, Dr. Cruz's research revealed photos of Mr. Graham throwing the same gang signs as Allen. And Allen is that accomplice who I mentioned before who testified against his co-defendants. But Cruz also revealed that people who knew Drake were allegedly seen in XXXTentacion's neighborhood threatening him before he died. The brief reads, social media posts showed these same known Graham associates were seen in Onfroy's neighborhood threatening him just prior to the murder. And then they say even more revealing is this connection that Cruz made to Drake's song lyrics, because shortly after XXX was killed, The brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled XXX with suspicious lyrics. SMS XXX, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags, the implication there being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately, Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings.
And the cooperator actually got the gun from his father, the gun that killed XXX. He got it from his father, and he told on his father, and he also said in his statements that his father was a known drug dealer and arms trafficker that had ties to Toronto. So that's where the Drake link comes in between the snitch's dad and his ties to Drake right here. So now, it's going to be interesting. I ain't going to cover like all the specifics. You can check them out. You can see them. They're all over timelines. I'm sure you can find them. But, I just made a video yesterday. And in that video, we were talking about the lawsuit that Drake brought upon Kendrick Lamar, right? And the repercussions that anybody else has had that's went against the music industry. We've seen them, fall from grace. So not only is Drake, going out, tarnishing his character and his legacy by, suing after he lost the battle and after he did all the dissing his damn self, you know what I mean? He put himself in the line of fire to be completely eradicated in this music industry. And I think we're going to start seeing more and more of this stuff start coming out here, just like we started seeing with Diddy, right? So here we see Drake now. He's being, finger pointed again for the murder of XXX. And we're going to see how this one pans out right here. Because if the what they call it, the cooperator, right, the snitch, if he gets another appeal, they got to bring Drake up there. They got to have his lawyer give a testimony and give his explanation behind all the case that they're building now behind Drake, using his rap lyrics, using images of him and Lil Wayne throwing up the same gang sign that the cooperator was throwing up in other pictures and is affiliated with, and his dad and so forth. So, some answers are going to have to come to some of these questions that the internet has looked at as just rumors for quite a while, because this is not the first time this has been talked about, as Drake has been pointed out in this. Once again, everybody just thought it couldn't be true because no ties from Florida to Canada with Drake and the killers being down there. But, a lot of questions are unanswered. How the killers know that XXX was going to be at this motorsport place, though, anyway? How'd they have to drop on him like that? Who gave up that drop? You know what I mean? But it looks like now that since Drake is suing UMG, though, green lights on him and things is just going to start coming out. But time will only tell. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in them comments. And I'm going to keep y'all tuned into this as I figure out more and more about this. But to the next one.
Moving forward, though, what can we expect in terms of a timeline of appeal? When will this be heard? When will this be decided? If a new trial is granted, how does that work? Because now it's about the timeline of events. What should we expect?
You know what? I don't practice appellate law, and those are questions that I don't really want to give misleading answers to.
Okay.
So I don't want to give the wrong answers regarding appellate. I don't really do appellate law, but at some point they're going to file a responsive brief, and I think that the court could invite. I think the way it is nowadays, the court can invite oral argument. When I first started practicing law, you had the right to give oral argument.